the simulation. You didn't know you were in. Have you ever felt like your life is on autopilot? Like every decision, every moment is part of a script you didn't write? Imagine waking up one day and everything you believed to be real, your struggles, your triumphs, your limitations, was nothing more than a complex simulation. Intriguing, right? Now here's the kicker. What if I told you that you're the one controlling it all? That the power to rewrite the narrative of your life has always been within you? This isn't some science fiction plot or a lofty philosophical theory. It's the foundation of a groundbreaking idea that has existed for decades, championed by a man whose teachings have quietly influenced lives across the globe, Neville Goddard. His work unveils a stunning truth. Your reality isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create, consciously or not. Let's take a step back. Think about your favorite video game. The world you see on the screen feels alive and unpredictable, yet it's entirely governed by code. Lines of instructions that shape the universe within. Now imagine your mind as the ultimate programmer, projecting its thoughts and beliefs onto the screen of your life. Every challenge, every success, every mundane moment is a reflection of the code running in your subconscious. But here's the twist. Just like in a video game, you can hack the system. Neville Goddard's teachings are the cheat codes, showing you how to break free from the simulation's limitations and craft the life you've always dreamed of. Whether you're here to manifest a better career, heal from past wounds, or simply understand why life feels the way it does, this journey could change everything. Before we dive into the techniques that can transform your world, let's start with a story. Sarah was an artist, talented, yet invisible. Her days were spent in a small apartment, surrounded by unfinished canvases and unpaid bills. For years, she poured her heart into her work, only to face rejection after rejection. Galleries turned her away, collectors barely glanced at her paintings, and doubt began to creep into her mind. One day, while browsing an old bookstore, Sarah stumbled upon a tattered book by Neville Goddard. Its title, "The Feeling is the Secret." Intrigued, she bought it for $1, not knowing it would change her life. That night, she read about a simple yet revolutionary concept: living in the end. The idea was this: to manifest her dreams, Sarah needed to feel, with every fiber of her being, that she was already living them. It wasn't about hoping or wishing. It was about believing so deeply that reality had no choice but to catch up. So, she tried it. Every night before bed, Sarah closed her eyes and imagined herself in a bustling art gallery. She saw her paintings adorning the walls, heard the murmur of an impressed crowd, and felt the weight of a buyer's handshake as they purchased her work. She did this not once, but every night for weeks. At first, it felt like a silly daydream, but soon something shifted. An old friend called, offering to introduce her to a gallery owner. Then, one of her paintings went viral on social media. Within 3 months, Sarah had her first solo exhibition, and every piece sold out. Sarah didn't just beat the odds, she rewrote them. Sarah's story might feel extraordinary, but it's not unique. Every day, people around the world are tapping into the power of their consciousness to shape their lives. The question is, will you be one of them? From this moment on, you have 2 choices. You can continue as you are, letting life's external circumstances dictate your story. Or you can step into the driver's seat, armed with the knowledge that your thoughts and feelings hold the key to your future. Here's the first step. Understanding that the simulation isn't your enemy. It's a playground, and you're its creator. The challenges you face, they're not obstacles. They're opportunities to learn the rules, hack the system, and build the life you truly want. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore how Neville Goddard's teachings can help you rewrite your past, live your desired future, and break free from the mental code holding you back. These are not just theories. They're actionable practices that anyone can use, starting today. But before we dive deeper, if this resonates with you, if you're ready to step into your power and master the art of creating your reality, consider subscribing to our channel. Here we explore the hidden truths that can transform not just your mindset, but your entire life. So, Are you ready to discover what's possible when you finally wake up from the simulation? Let's begin. The foundation of reality. Consciousness as the ultimate creator. Imagine sitting in a darkened theater, engrossed in a movie so vivid, so captivating, that for a moment you forget where you are. The laughter, the heartbreak, the suspense, they feel real, as if they're happening to you. Now, what if I told you that this is exactly how we experience life? That everything we see, hear, and feel is a projection, much like that movie on the screen? But here's the twist. In this movie, you're not just the audience, you're the projector. This is the cornerstone of Neville Goddard's philosophy, a concept so profound it has challenged conventional ideas of reality since he first began teaching in the mid-20th century. Born in 1905 in Barbados, Goddard moved to New York City in the 1920s. There, amidst the buzz of modernity, he developed a teaching that blended ancient mysticism with cutting-edge ideas about the mind. He believed and fervently taught that our consciousness is the ultimate force shaping our reality. To understand this, let's travel back to the 1940s, when Neville began to gain attention for his radical ideas. He claimed that the world we experience is not independent of us, but rather a mirror reflecting our inner state. In simple terms, what you see in your life is a direct result of what you hold in your mind, your beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. Think of your mind as a powerful projector, constantly casting images onto the screen of your life. When the projector's film is full of doubts and limitations, the resulting image, the reality you experience, is constrained and lackluster. But if the film is infused with belief, confidence, and abundance, the projection becomes vibrant and limitless. This idea may sound abstract, but modern science provides a striking parallel. In the 21st century, neuroscientists discovered the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Studies have shown that repeated thoughts and beliefs can physically alter the brain's structure, reinforcing patterns that shape our actions and perceptions. In essence, Goddard was decades ahead of his time, intuitively understanding what science now confirms. Our thoughts literally change the way we experience the world. But how does this play out in real life? Let's bring this concept closer to home. Take Michael, a struggling entrepreneur in the early 1950s. He attended one of Neville's lectures, skeptical but desperate for change. Goddard's teaching was simple yet revolutionary. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Michael decided to give it a try. Every night he sat quietly, imagining his small business thriving. He visualized happy customers, steady sales, and financial stability. Most importantly, he felt the emotions of success, relief, pride, and gratitude, as if it were already his reality. Weeks turned into months, and something remarkable began to happen. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach started to appear. Customers flocked to his store, partnerships formed, and by the end of the year, Michael's business had quadrupled in size. What changed? Not the external world, but Michael's inner state. He had rewritten the film running in his mind, and the projector, his consciousness, responded accordingly. This isn't magic. It's the mechanics of reality. Everything we experience starts as a thought. That's why Goddard emphasized the importance of assumptions. He believed that our assumptions about ourselves and the world are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of our consciousness. Whatever seed we nurture, be it abundance or scarcity, love or fear, will eventually sprout and shape the reality we live in. To illustrate this further, consider a fascinating parallel from modern physics. The observer effect, a principle in quantum mechanics, states that the act of observing a particle changes its behavior. In other words, the way we look at something influences its outcome. While science grapples with the implications of this phenomenon on a subatomic level, Neville applied it to everyday life, arguing that our focus and attention have the power to shape the events and circumstances we encounter. But here's the catch. Most of us are unconscious projectors. Our films are filled with beliefs and assumptions we've picked up over a lifetime, often without realizing it. Childhood experiences, societal norms, and repeated messages like life is hard or success is for others become ingrained in our subconscious, running the show from behind the scenes. Now, imagine the freedom that comes with realizing you can change the film. You're not stuck with the old script. You can create a new one. Goddard's teachings aren't about denying reality, but about recognizing that reality is fluid, shaped by the thoughts we choose to entertain. One of the most compelling aspects of Neville's philosophy is its accessibility. You don't need special tools or complicated rituals. The power lies within you, in the quiet moments when you close your eyes and dare to imagine a life beyond your current circumstances. As we navigate this journey, let's pause to reflect. What beliefs are you projecting onto the screen of your life? Are they empowering, or are they keeping you stuck in a loop of limitation? Remember, the projector doesn't judge the film, it simply plays what it's given. The choice of the film is entirely yours. In the coming sections, we'll explore the transformative practices that Neville Goddard shared, methods that empower you to rewrite your past, live in your desired future, and fully embrace your role as the conscious creator of your reality. But for now, take a moment to sit with this realization. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the author of your experience, holding the pen and the projector of your life. As Goddard himself once said, you are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. What will you choose to believe today? Rewriting the past. Taking control of your narrative. Imagine for a moment that life is like a book. Each chapter is a memory, a snapshot of a moment long gone but somehow still alive in your mind. Some chapters are uplifting, filled with joy and accomplishment. Others, however, feel like weights pulling you back every time you try to move forward. Now, what if you could go back and rewrite the chapters you regret? What if the past wasn't as unchangeable as you've been led to believe? Neville Goddard's teachings offer a revolutionary perspective. The past is not a fixed timeline etched in stone. Instead, it's a living, malleable construct shaped by our memories and perceptions. This concept, which he called revision, is one of the most empowering tools in his philosophy. At its core, revision is the ability to revisit past experiences and alter their impact on your present and future. While this may sound abstract, the logic behind it is grounded in how the human mind works. To understand revision, consider this. Memories are not perfect recordings of events. Neuroscientists have shown that every time we recall a memory, our brain rewrites it slightly, influenced by our current emotions and beliefs. This process, known as memory reconsolidation, means that what we think of as a fixed past is actually fluid. Goddard's idea of revision aligns beautifully with this scientific insight, taking it a step further by encouraging intentional rewrites of memories to create a more empowering narrative. For example, imagine a failed job interview that still haunts you. You remember the nervousness, the stumbles, and the rejection, and it continues to color your confidence in new opportunities. Through revision, you close your eyes and replay the event in your mind, but this time, you see yourself walking into the room with calm confidence. You answer each question with ease, feel the warmth of connection with the interviewer, and leave with a firm handshake, knowing the job is yours. As you immerse yourself in this new memory, you don't just alter how you perceive the past. You reshape the energy and beliefs that influence your present actions. The transformative power of revision lies in its ability to reprogram the subconscious. Most of our actions and reactions stem from deeply rooted patterns formed by past experiences. When we revise these experiences, we essentially rewrite the code that governs our current behavior. It's like updating an old software program that's been causing glitches. Once the new version is installed, everything begins to run more smoothly. But why stop at revising negative experiences? Revision can also amplify the positive. Suppose you had a small victory, a time when you overcame a challenge or received recognition, but you quickly brushed it off as insignificant. Revisiting and magnifying that moment can strengthen your sense of self-worth and confidence. By focusing on the triumphs in your story, you create a mental highlight reel that motivates and empowers you. Neville Goddard often shared anecdotes from his students who used revision to transform their lives. One such story involved a woman who struggled with a strained relationship with her mother. Their arguments and misunderstandings had left her feeling bitter and disconnected. Inspired by Goddard's teachings, she began revising her memories of their interactions. Each night, she would imagine scenes of kindness, laughter, and understanding, replacing the tension with love. Over time, not only did her perception of her mother change, but their real-life relationship began to shift as well. The energy she brought to their interactions softened, creating space for genuine connection and healing. This concept may seem magical, but it operates on a deeply psychological level. When we hold on to a negative memory, our subconscious treats it as an ongoing reality. The emotions tied to that memory, whether anger, fear, or regret, linger in our present, influencing our thoughts, decisions, and relationships. By revising the memory, we release the emotional charge it carries, freeing ourselves from its grip. One of the most compelling aspects of revision is its accessibility. You don't need a special setting or tools, just a few minutes of focused attention. Begin by identifying a memory that feels unresolved or disempowering. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and picture the event in your mind. Now, reimagine it as you wish it had happened. Replace the conflict with harmony, the failure with success, the hurt with understanding. Feel the emotions of this new version as vividly as possible. Then, let it settle into your mind as the truth. Skeptics might argue that revising the past is just pretending, but Goddard would disagree. For him, the past is not what happened. It's what we remember and believe about it. And since our beliefs shape our reality, changing those beliefs, regardless of their origin, is an act of creation. It's not about denying history, but about taking control of the narrative we carry forward. Modern psychology supports this approach. Therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, use similar techniques to help individuals reframe past events and change the thought patterns that result from them. The key difference is that Goddard's method goes beyond therapeutic goals. It's not just about coping with the past, it's about actively transforming it to align with the future you desire. The true beauty of revision is its ripple effect. As you revise one memory, the beliefs and emotions connected to it shift, altering how you perceive and interact with the world. Over time, these small changes accumulate, creating a profound transformation in your overall reality. It's like pulling a single thread in a tapestry and watching the entire pattern rearrange itself. As you consider the power of revision, ask yourself, what chapters of your story are holding you back? Which memories, beliefs, or narratives have outlived their purpose? The next time you find yourself dwelling on the past, remember that it's not set in stone. It's a living part of your consciousness, waiting for you to rewrite it. Neville Goddard believed that the only limitations we face are the ones we impose on ourselves. By revisiting and revising the past, we dissolve those limits, opening the door to a future defined not by what has been, but by what can be. So, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and pick up the pen. Your story is far from over, and the power to shape it has always been yours. One of the most transformative aspects of living in the end is how it shifts your relationship with time. Instead of waiting for your desires to manifest, you begin to experience them now. This creates a sense of fulfillment that eliminates the fear and anxiety of not knowing when or if your dreams will come true. Paradoxically, this state of inner peace often accelerates the manifestation process, as you're no longer resisting or doubting your path. However, this practice isn't without its challenges. Doubts and old habits can creep in, pulling you back into a mindset of lack or limitation. When this happens, it's crucial to gently redirect your focus to the feelings of your desired reality. This is where consistency and persistence come into play. Just as a garden needs regular care to flourish, your inner state requires nurturing to maintain its alignment with your goals. Living in the end is a profound act of self-trust. It's about believing in your ability to create the life you want, even when the world around you seems unchanged. It's about choosing to see possibility where others see impossibility, and holding on to your vision with unshakable faith. As you consider this practice, ask yourself, what would it feel like to already have the life you desire? What emotions, thoughts, and actions would define your days? Begin to embody those feelings now and watch as your reality begins to transform in ways you never thought possible. The future isn't something you wait for, it's something you step into. And the most incredible part, you don't have to take a single step. By living in the end, you're already there. As you take a moment to reflect on the journey we've just shared, consider this. The life you've always dreamed of isn't beyond your reach. It's not something waiting in a distant future or locked behind the doors of fate. It's here now, waiting for you to claim it. The teachings of Neville Goddard aren't just abstract theories or philosophical musings. They're a call to awaken, to recognize the immense power you hold to shape your reality. For too long, many of us have lived as though we are passengers on a train, carried along by forces we can't control. Circumstances, luck, and external events seem to dictate the path of our lives. But Goddard showed us a truth that changes everything. You're not a passenger. You're the conductor. The direction of the train, the stops it makes, and the destination it reaches are all determined by you. This realization is liberating, but it's also humbling. It means we must take full responsibility for our lives, not just for the successes, but for the failures and challenges too. And while this might feel overwhelming, it's also a profound gift. Because when you accept this responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for change and start creating it. Consider the stories we've explored, stories of individuals like Sarah, Jane, and Michael, who dared to believe in something greater than their current reality. Their lives transformed not because of chance, but because they chose to see the world through the lens of possibility. They rewrote their pasts, embodied their dreams, and aligned themselves with the future they desired. And if they could do it, so can you. This isn't about escaping life's difficulties or denying the challenges that arise. It's about facing them with a new perspective. When you see every obstacle as an opportunity to grow, every failure as a stepping stone to success, and every limitation as a chance to expand, you begin to experience life in an entirely new way. But let's be honest, this isn't always easy. Doubts will arise, old patterns will try to reassert themselves. The voices of fear and uncertainty may whisper that it's safer to stay where you are. In those moments, remember this: transformation isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Each time you choose to realign with your vision, each time you decide to believe in your power despite the evidence around you, you're taking another step toward the life you desire. Think of your consciousness as a sculptor's tool, constantly shaping the clay of your reality. Every thought, every belief, every assumption is a stroke of the chisel, carving out the world you experience. The beauty of this metaphor is that no mistake is permanent. If a piece of the sculpture doesn't align with your vision, you can reshape it. The clay is always pliable, always ready to be molded anew. As you move forward, ask yourself, what kind of masterpiece do you want to create? What version of yourself do you want to sculpt? The answers to these questions are yours to define, and the tools to bring them to life are already in your hands. Goddard often spoke of life as a grand play, with each of us acting as the playwright, director, and star. When you embrace this role, you stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start living as the author of your story. You realize that the power to create isn't just something you tap into occasionally. It's your birthright. It's who you are at your core. And what happens when you fully step into this role? The world begins to respond in kind. Synchronicities appear, opportunities unfold, and life starts to feel like a dance between you and the universe. It's not that challenges disappear. It's that your relationship with them changes. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, you view them as plot twists, essential elements of the narrative that make the story richer, deeper, and more meaningful. As we close, take a moment to breathe deeply and let these ideas settle into your heart. Picture yourself not as someone striving to change, but as someone who already holds the key to transformation. You are the dreamer and the dream, the creator and the creation. There's no separation between who you are and what you desire. They are one and the same. Now let this truth guide you. The power to rewrite your life doesn't lie in external circumstances or the approval of others. It lies in your consciousness, in the thoughts you nurture, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you embody. Every moment is an opportunity to choose, a chance to step into the life you've always imagined. So, what will you choose? Will you continue to see yourself as a product of your environment, or will you claim your place as the creator of your reality? The decision is yours, and the time to make it is now. As you step back into the world, carry this awareness with you. Let it color your interactions, inspire your choices, and shape your days. Remember, you're not bound by the limitations of the past or the constraints of the present. You are limitless, a spark of creative energy capable of transforming not just your life, but the world around you. This is your invitation to awaken, to dream boldly, live fully, and create fearlessly. And as you do, know that you're not alone. Across the globe, others are waking up to this truth, joining a collective movement of conscious creators rewriting the story of humanity. The curtain is rising, and the stage is yours. Step into the spotlight and bring your masterpiece to life.